call him up, they say, hey, we want to put you on the team or at least. But Armstrong was shocked at how quickly that changed. He called Schaefer's play exemplary this season, the way he brings you out of your seat. Formations, more on that later. Standby players will be picked from a pool based on style of player injured, not necessarily position. Armstrong said the St. Louis Blues' Jordan Binnington was never a question mark in management discussions about goaltending based on his track record. Now, that makes sense in my mind, but at the same time, that is as cold as ice when he is in those important games. He steps up, he's stone cold. There are a lot of qualities to like about that. But at the same time, the guy's at 870 save percentage this year. So I really do wonder how long of a leash Jordan Binnington is going to get, especially when you have other goaltenders that probably did deserve an opportunity here too. I mean, Logan Thompson was the best goalie in the NHL for a while. Darcy Kemper has some really good numbers too. But if you want to talk about good numbers, it's like, okay, why is Mackenzie Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood not going? Is it just because they play in Colorado that their numbers don't mean much here? Darcy Kemper, okay, 970 save percentage is good, very good. But I just question the omission of some of these awards that he should be on, really. Well, he needs to be good at something besides injury goaltenders. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Let's leave a like on this tweet by Tyler today. Elliot Friedman also said that he was surprised to see Sam Bennett out. Did not see that coming. And then there are some other replies here. I would take Bennett over Anthony Chiarelli for sure. John Cooper bias. 3 Lightnings on the roster, but Chiarelli hate them opponents. And that, I think, is one of these things where you have to talk about more so the actual play rather than reputation. Bennett is not that good. Chiarelli Hagel is the best PK unit in hockey. Bennett is a winger and a solid two-way physical player who can score, hit, and fight. He was key for Canada at the Four Nations. Yeah, that's true. But I also do think this is important to bring up. You can't fight in the Olympics. So is Sam Bennett's role really going to be that big like it was back in the other tournament? And finally, this is what Frank Saravelli said. No surprise that there were difficult differences of opinion in Team Canada's management group in regards to Anthony Chiarelli being selected. But Tampa Bay Lightning coach John Cooper's conviction won out. Cooper wanted Chiarelli onto the squad. He wanted that guy to play alongside of his other winger and Brandon Hagel. He wanted that PK unit to be linked back up together. And now, this is back to you thinking, okay, well, no Sam Bennett, no Mark Scheifele even. You think about that, I didn't even mention this guy's name the entire video. Mark Scheifele seemed like a lock based off of his reputation, based off of the skill and the body of work he has had the past few years. Mark Scheifele's on pace for 100 points this season. He's on pace for 100 points and he didn't make Team Canada. That either indicates how stacked the team really is, or it dives into just how much they seem to value other kinds of guys. Chiarelli, Bo Horvat, Nick Suzuki, these guys were all kind of on the outside looking in. Tom Wilson is a physical winner. No Mark Scheifele, though, on pace for 100 points. That is very, very interesting. Maybe the Jets being as bad as they have been have affected the way this roster was constructed, but I am curious to see how Winnipeg Jets fans are taking the news. Obviously, for Scheifele, it's like he's not going to have another opportunity to play at the Olympics. He's 32. The next one, he'll be 36 years old. So, yeah, no, Scheifele, Olympic snub. Chiarelli is the biggest nepotism pick of all time. There's a sizable list of players ahead of him that were left off shelf. Bringing Doughty to, I don't like that at all. Okay, well, that's true, Doughty, not enough. Just remember that Scheifele's got more points than Mark Stone, but Mark Stone was injured for like half the season. I don't think that's really comparable. Brandon Hagel's points and Chiarelli, yeah, no, we'd probably say that he's a higher skilled. The defense, I mean, it's not the best, but you make do with what you have. Josh Morrison's a good player. Harvey stepped up lately. Cale McCarr. Everybody else, I'm kind of iffy on, to be honest. Even Devon Taves, because he can play well with Cale McCarr, but like, I'm not really too sure how well this vehicle is going to be. It's certainly not the default 2014, but we will wait and see what happens there. It was always going to be an issue, right? Canada's defense, we knew that it was not one of the strongest parts of their oppositional makeup. We knew the forward core was stacked. We knew there was questions in goaltender, especially with Jordan Mason and on defense. So this must have been that all the same. So I want you to going to play to watch the best the franchise mode university and big guys keep on diving into the expansion draft mode with the franchise mode. It is honestly one of my favorite ways to play franchise mode. Some of my best memories have come out of this mode, and I thought it was really fun to me that it kind of latched on me on the channel. So shout out to the Halloween Hammerhead. You guys have to check that out. That's a couple seasons control the show. So check those out. Love those uniforms. Love the branding there. That's not what today's about. We have two on branding for Bill Guy that can help you make some really sharp. Today we're talking about the mode and how to set everything up. So we're going to come to the franchise mode here, start our new career, and over here we're going to choose 33 team expansion draft. I do recommend that you use the custom rosters. That's going to give you the trades and updates from the season and what's going on. And we've already had some big moves like Queen Hughes is going to the
take them all.
So if you want to see
His cap off his team.
universe, you're going to want to go ahead and when you select these things, you're going to choose custom rosters. If you're not sure how to update your rosters, it's actually just out in the main menu. You go over to more and up the top here, rosters, and then you've got active rosters. And then you can go ahead and select the latest online roster or whatever one floats your boat. Usually you're defaulted to the very beginning of the year. I always love to use latest roster. But once you're here and you hit custom roster, it just moves up really quickly. It's going to ask you to either select the team you've already created or you can create a team here. I highly recommend going back, going to more, going to the creation zone and creating a team over there because that way you can edit it and tweak it. And if you get into the mode and something doesn't look right or get takes away the local looks and you made a mistake with the presentation, you can edit it. And if you do it here in the franchise mode, I call it you can save your custom. So we're just going to go ahead and create the default ones that I had built previously, and we'll dive into some of the settings here. So once you reduce the resource and it presents you with your favorite team, you're going to just want to scroll over to wherever the team created is. I chose default aces, so they're right at the beginning of the alphabet here, right at the very top next to Detroit. So once you select them, you'll also see this pop-up that asks you to customize your NHL team. Just real quick, in the bottom right, you see the Burnaby aces there. That's going to be your AHL team. I don't necessarily care too much about what my AHL team looks like, but if you did want, you would come in here and customize, and you would customize the Burnaby aces, you can select that, and then you'd be able to create a team. Now, this team doesn't say you can import a previously created team that you had. Created two teams, you can't import it, so you have to create it right away here. But then you just say continue, and we're all set to move it. So the basic realignment, it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's say I created an Anchorage, Alaska team. I'm probably going to be in the Pacific Division, but if you create a team, maybe you want to get a second Toronto team, a rival in the city of Toronto, you would probably want to be in the Atlantic. You can shuffle this all around, whatever makes sense to you. Maybe you think that, okay, we'll move Edmonton into the Central because I want some balance. You're going to have a number of teams anyway with 33, so really, I would just say take your team with X or A and then move them wherever you want to put them here. So I'll put them in the Atlantic Division, and we're all set to be basically already down in the Atlantic Division. So then this screen is huge, and those of you that watch my setup guide, this is a lot of these very, very in depth. But just for the expansion draft, there's a couple settings that I really, really want to stress you should have on. I personally don't know it all the time. Add contract here. Absolutely turn this one on. And I will explain to you guys why when we get to the expansion draft itself. But essentially, this is going to bump it out so that your expansion draft happens IRL before the season, if you will. Not after the season, but during the 25-26 season. You're going to expand in the 2025 season, and play a full season. You're going to have all the expiring contracts that are going to come up in IRL. It'll make sense, but I show you guys a bit more, highlight some players basically having this happen. The Seattle Kraken would not have to sacrifice a player in the expansion draft. They just going to get paid the entry fee from the new team, but that's a little bit too technical for sound here. So I'd like to just leave this on just a bit more realistic. We'll have 31 teams to choose from anyway, so I think we'll be fine. Other than that, you can mess with these settings however you want. If you don't know what they do, check out my setup guide. That is going to give you the best setup for your franchise code here. Pretty much all carries over as well in the expansion draft. But once that's all set, you can change some of the rules and settings that for so for your franchise mode. You don't dive into that, but just go ahead and start a career. Always keep the salary cap on because if I want it off, I'm going to turn it off on the previous screen. So I appreciate getting double checking, but yeah, I still want it on. Thank you very much. And here we go. We're into the entry screen. It's the start of the season. We're coming up on the NHL entry draft. So take a look here. We're actually in June of 2025. The NHL entry draft that just happened, just to get this done, it's a brand new draft class. That makes it pretty interesting. You get a second wave of rookies for this 2025-2026 class. It's so stacked. I love it. It makes it a lot of fun. And you get to select your own players as well. But you see up in the top left, next to our GM, it does say the 24-25 season. So we're just going to go ahead and stick to the draft. I think this is the owner. This is the mysterious voice in the sky. Just going to look at us to the ace. I do have my little goals on face. The center is going to 5.5. That's pretty good right around. And unfortunately, we get screwed in the lottery. Chicago moves up to 1. Boston from 6 to 2, which bumps us down from 3 to 4. So San Jose, they're all still going to have their players that are Schaefer for the Islanders is still going to keep on the Islanders. Like not to keep the draft here, but you will get a second chance at another league player. So that's pretty fun. I do like that a lot. So here we go. It's time for the NHL expansion draft. So we're going to start the expansion draft. I don't want to jump into it and tell you guys here what's going on. You're going to see every team listed here besides Seattle. This is going to be interesting because you must draft a minimum of 14 forwards, 9 defensemen, and 3 goalies. As long as you meet those minimums, you can basically do whatever you want. So we're going to be in our depths here, and we'll talk about the players and availability. But as you can see, Radko Lewis technically has 2 years left on his contract. However, when the game takes over from the 2024-2025 season to 2025-2026, he'll go down from 2 years left to 1 year left, and that matches his IRL status. If we didn't add that year to the contract toggle at the start of the mode, he'd have 1 year left. If you direct him, and even if he's going to be a free agent, you have to negotiate a contract with him. So, to me, I don't think that's realistic whatsoever. You're not really going to draft a guy that's got a contract IRL and have to sign it. Essentially, free agency is going to suck in your first year, but you get an Anaheim guys. So here we are at the Anaheim Ducks. I always take a peek at the goalies. I highly recommend you always just take a peek at the goalies. Nobody is singing about this. We're all skaters. And you know what? We are going to take.
Who's to make my deep?
You could also go through Allison if you think maybe you need to get a develop a little bit. I mean, 2 years left at 1.1 million. I think that's actually pretty solid. Sorting by potential here, they don't have any crazy potential players. So yeah, actually, I think I'm going to go with Allison. One thing I do want to say is you do need to hit the cap minimum, the cap floor, as you saw it there. Oh yeah, if you look at it, usually it doesn't matter, but I'm always trying to use the cap base I have. But you want to hit the cap floor, otherwise the players are going to get their contracts adjusted so you can hit the cap floor, and that is really, really no good. That's bad there. We take a look here at the Boston Bruins, take a look at goalies, nobody special. Nikita Zadorov does have an X factor. He's got 5 years left at $5 million, 30, 85. I'm going to take it, but he to me feels like a prime flip candidate. And a lot of the times you want to balance who's going to be on my team versus who I can get some draft picks for, or maybe some younger future players, some players with some potential. Right? Nikita Zadorov could help us get in there, but honestly, I don't think you want to win early in your franchise mode in your expansion. Right? You want to have back-to-back years of top 3 picks, getting those elite fours. Well, I'll show you guys. I'll look at the rest of the expansion round. I'll show you the roster what the lines look like, and you'll kind of understand why I'm saying that you don't want to hold on to all of these defensemen or all of these great forwards or things like that. So take a look here, Michael Kesselring, and there's going to be a lot of good defensemen available. I'll go after a look in here. 83 overall, 4.75, 4 more years, 26, medium starter. I still think I'd like Michael Kesselring better. Medium top scorer, 25. He's got 1 year left to 1.4, so left the second season. But there we go. And you'll notice that probably pick a lot of defensemen early, and you'll have to switch it up. You may have to force yourself to take some forwards. Like in this scenario, I think Connor Zary just makes a ton of sense. We need a forward. We haven't taken them. They don't have any good goalies available. We'll take a look at the potential, but medium top six.
I did set actually. It's set, so I'm not worried about my decor at all. So.
Very, very happy with that. We're going to keep going here. I'm picking players, and Andrei Svechnikov is available. If you're absolutely going to just have that one, there's no debate, right? Like, I don't think they could have an idea. Oh, man. Oh, all right, Carolina, you're making the have a tough decision here, but 2 years on this range for medium league goaltender, 25. I think I'd rather have the forward. Forwards are going to be in short supply. I'm kind of ignoring Dawson's here, but he's got 2 years left. He's 32, and by the time that our cup window actually opens, which is not going to be in the first year or two, I think that Svechnikov makes the most sense. 25, he's entering his prime, he's medium elite, so we've got a chance to grow to like maybe the high 80s, 88, maybe 89 if he has a ridiculously good season, playing a lot of ice time. And 4 more years, that's just under $8 million, is not going to hurt us at all. And I know some of you out there are like, this happen. But as far as like maybe we just take Arvid Soderblom. 82, we get started, why not? We'll take ourselves a goalie. I'll keep going here, guys. I'll show you the roster when I'm done with this. Colorado could be interesting. They used to be one party. We used to be able to get Samuel Girard. Maybe I want Dylan Hanson. He's probably got a good amount of trade value. Maybe I want Mark Kelly. Probably not. I think I will take Dylan Hanson for the trade value here. It's a scenario like this where, listen, he's 26. They expect a lot like a healthy guy. He's not really going to grow much anymore. He's going to be a fourth liner for us at best. Maybe a third line pick the board. Right here, he's a fourth liner for us. So, really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Josh Manson here. I don't foresee him sticking around on the team long term, right? He's got, I think, 1 year left on his deal. He's the perfect flippable asset. There's going to be teams buying an 85 overall defense. And as we keep going here, guys, I did want to point one thing out. Sometimes you may not get less than like the LSU's here, they really don't have anybody too spectacular that I want to go after. At 83 overall, isn't something special. However, I highly recommend that you guys go after guys that have X factor. They can really, really do different things. I mean, they're huge bonuses for chemistry, and just having the X factor is going to make them perform better. It's just going to be better for your team. You're going to want your guys to still put up points, right? You don't want to win all the games. You're going to still want to have points and growth for your younger players. So having a guy like Kuzmenko, who's got, I believe that's quick release. And it is. I would take him over Vogel, even though he's, $800,000 more expensive, and only on a 1-year deal. Kuzmenko to me is a guy that can draw the top line, play with Svechnikov, and then Lundell in the middle of those two guys. We've got a decent first line that might put up points and get us, some growth for Lundell, maybe some growth for Svechnikov. We've got to think about that stuff as well. But I'm going here, guys. I can't wait to show you the roster. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're not done once the draft is done. And there we have it, guys. I'm all set with my heads now. I can go through and probably optimize this a little bit, but I've got the guys that I went through that feel like they're going to be best for me, and I did have to adjust some of the things based on the cap space. As you can see, we have 0.6 million available. That will change. We are not going to have with all these guys, but I just want to show you the roster. And look at the defense. Hey, look, what was this? 6 of the top 8 players on our team are defenders. Justin Hamilton was available. We're going to snap him up. He has a modified no trade clause, which is big. It's been a minute since I've done an expansion draft. So you do have to take a look at these no trade clauses, right? If you plan on moving these guys. But, Jake Wallman, I think does have a big extension to this one, too. So you can see that 4 years of an LTU clause. So we could move on from him if we wanted. Essel Lindell has a no trade clause, so he's a guy that we can, or we would potentially flip-flop him with somebody else if you want to probably move him. Nikita Zadorov has a no trade clause for this 1 more year, so I don't mind actually moving on him for 1 year, and then fitting on him next move on to them. Josh Manson is a guy that has a modified no trade clause, so we would absolutely move him if we needed to. But it's good to see, we have a ton of defensemen, and it's a really deep defensive core, which is why I want to get rid of that Hamilton, Jake Baldwin as well. I can get rid of him. These guys are in almost 30, and by the time this team's forward core, they're going to be aged out, and I don't think we're going to be able to buy a forward core as good as our defensive core. So this is why I like to load up on defensemen. Do keep an eye on those trade plus. Maybe we want to get rid of that Lindell. Maybe we keep him. Maybe he's a guy that helps us, not be absolutely dreadful and maybe have some points. Goaltending as well is absolutely loaded. I may trade back for Demko because we have Jesper Wallstead. Demko has got 1 year left on his deal. He doesn't have a no-trade clause. He's got an extension after this season. So maybe a guy would like to move on from his 89 elite goaltender, but at 29, right? He's got probably 6 more years at this level. But we've got Jesper Wallstead, who I don't want to block his track. So, I mean, honestly, you guys take a look at those contracts and make sure that you trade these guys. I think put off Lindell, so we'll see what I decide on that. Let's go ahead and get into the real season. Now, I am going to switch Lindell to Bennett, just because, right? This is a guy that, but I do want him to look at facing him getting some moves. Bennett does not have a clause in his contract. He's only making $1 million or something like that for 3 years. So, great for the cap space. Good move if we want. Does help out the forward core. But let's jump forward and actually start making some moves and stuff. So your next stop after the expansion draft is the entry draft. So we'll go ahead and jump in and I'll show you guys. We haven't been able to do any scouting, right? You don't have to worry about it because there was no season before this. So you got to just get a random assortment of scouting. You'll see that these are guys that are just randomly generated. It's really nice to be the top 4 because we're going to be able to get ourselves a block who we think has unstoppable, which would be awesome. We've got Joe Ready, young left-handed defenseman. Absolutely love that. There's also Reed Who could be a good player, but he's 3 years away. So we would end up taking him. But this is where your first opportunity to make trades comes in. You can see that Dougie Hamilton here is the most trade value we have. And I think I'd like to get rid of him. Okay, apparently nobody wants him. Jake Ballman, there is. Hello. You're off. From the Minnesota Wild, medium elite for Jake Ballman. I would absolutely take that. He is 21.76, so maybe not the kind of guy that we want to go for here, but it just kind of shows that we have potential to get rid of some of these players and get something nice in return. What about back in I could use Hamilton in my own trade code. No trades found. Probably because I've done a clause restricting us. Here, go to the Bruins, Canadians, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Canadians, Rangers, and Gold Tiger now. But let's take a look at the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks definitely have a first overall pick. Can I give them this pick? Is there something I can give them for that pick? Let's see if they can do the talk. They could pick up the answer to that. I would do that. So we'll just quickly just do this. I know this is a guy that kind of gets sucked in sometimes like this, but no great. Okay. You can maybe trade up the 26th overall. I guess no trades found. Well, yeah, I can make something happen. But again, this is your time to start wheeling and dealing. Maybe you want your offense, and he's going to be more valuable to you than Walton. Let's see what Manson got.
Top line will consist of second guard, Freddie, and maybe a Hollander too. So I need a second line fucking winger.
Maybe that's got a good trade value, so maybe we can get 30th overall. We just went to load up on first round picks. That could work for us. We could, maybe then package for one of those first Hamilton, go get a young player on some other team. Let's see, who did Dougie Hamilton say he was good to go to? Do they have a player? Maybe Detroit. We'll see what's Detroit. Do they want Dougie Hamilton? Maybe not. But could I get like a lone Snyder from them or Dougie Hamilton? Maybe not. But then you could maybe go after Alex Brickett. And Alex Brickett does want to come to our team. And it would take 2 firsts and Shiberkov, which I want Dougie. Doesn't seem like we get Dougie off here, though. Again, just keep it going, kind of flowing back and forth. This would go through, I believe. So we're going to propose that trade. Trade accepted. So we're actually going to get a much younger, higher potential. We set it up down, $80 million in cap space. We just freed up. And there's Edmondson right there. 84, 22, 1 year left on his deal. We'll need to extend him, but that's a good player to have. There's the ball now. Maybe we can go after a forward too to another team, but anyway, there is McGill on from Chicago Blackhawks. Can I call the Chicago Blackhawks with McGill here? McGill is pretty expensive, but if you take 2 first, get it really not that good. Let's see, we're chasing let's we get a more elite defenseman. and that they all want to get better first next year. I'm not in the business of getting on my first next year. Mike Nazar was drafted with 3 players, a 1, a 4, an 8 practice, or you say, you know what, I'm going to do this the second next year, and one of the first will be acquired this year. Oh god, I'm trying to trade away, but I want Frank Nazar on my team. I think this would be a great addition. Like I said, age, group, and everything. He's going to instantly slot on one of our top lines right away. So with our forward, sort of like overall, we could pop him on the first line with Odell and second him, and he's going to get a lot of ice time on the right side, a lot of goals. You know, let's see what we could get for Jamie Benn actually, because maybe I could Jamie Benn with somebody. We'll do Ben and oh god, who else is down here? Let's go with Lyle. He's got a lot of value, but I don't see us using him. He's cheap, but no trade value. And again, you can mess with this, but thinking of it, that is what I like to do with the trade like that. So we'll jump ahead to the line and whatnot. I probably do it get smart. Play them all right. Like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 NHL caliber 10. So I do need to start moving on to these players. Fedorov, there's not a lot of waivers. There's no trade clause. Jake Wallman, I could still get Shurov. I don't know if I want to get Shurov. Maybe I want to get a Kessel where he's 25 over, basically the same player. He is more expensive. But get a first name on it, so I think that's Bukestad, Suter, you better plus looking around and like some of these kids that ain't up to see what forwards they have for me to go ahead and bring somebody in here. But I'm going to be looking around, looking at the line and stuff like that. But really, this is where your moves are made. This is where you really set the franchise up for success. You take these assets, you ditch them, you flip them, you get some young elite talent. In a year or two, you're going to be insane. And there we go, guys. Found another one for us. Logan Stankoven for Wallman, Liljegren, and Crouch. We're going to get rid of 2 defensemen. Lawson Crouch. I like it when you got X factors and stuff like that, but $4.3 million for another 2 years. Again, you need to now think about the cap floor. 28, 82 power forward. He's decent. But I'd rather have the medium elite 22-year-old 85 overall sniper, really good looking player. He's signed like long term, so after this year he's going to have a long-term extension. And it'll take 8 years, $6 million. Like this is the kind of player to snap up. You get rid of Wallman, you get rid of Liljegren, who's kind of a fringe player that wants to get. They're all trade bait, essentially. So we're going to have to do this deal with the Carolina Hurricanes. In fact, we now have ourselves Logan Stankoven. And as we continue to do this, guys, 4 and 4 is going to get rounded out with young. We've got a player coming up in the draft that we're going to end up snatching as well. We added Stankoven this quarter. We've got 2 great gets for us here. Maybe we can do Stankoven with Svechnikov and Kuzama, or maybe Lundell, Svechnikov and Stankoven. I am trading Svechnikov and Stankoven to former Carolina Hurricanes. They're in a pretty good spot as a roster thing. You have a Frank Nazar again, like playing him with Ben and Perfetti, doesn't sound like a bad 6 at all. We're not going to be great, but we may not be horrible. And we're using our defenseman assets to bring in, Simon Edmondson here, a medium elite who's going to be our number 1 of the future. Nikita Zadorov is a guy that I can pair Edmondson with. I can fix throw play together. Moser and Balzan. I totally could play Allison instead, so maybe we can give us a little Balzan, right? We can maybe some in Colorado. We can maybe get another fix next year. Oh, yeah, Milky. I've got Brina yeah, we'll go after Moose. Look for it, but you know what I'm saying. And while I was doing all that, we got 2 hour picks, so we're going to take Clinton Waugh here. And hopefully he's pretty decent. All right, welcome to the organization. 76 medium elite defensive defenseman, does have an X factor, unstoppable, which absolutely love that. This is a guy to add to our stable of young talent. And guys, you've been in the draft for what? Maybe 5, 7 minutes. Oh, that was low. I don't know what that was. Why is it so good for everything? I'm pretty good. But you can see that now we've got single one and Sid who has that couple Nazar. All of a sudden their team age is coming way down in the future now, right? The season frozen these guys, I think we're ready for that. After one season, right? Single and road, hopefully with the high low 90. From the Dell, make it for us a little bit. Edmondson becomes that two defenseman for us. Svechnikov takes another step. Frank Nazar becomes a bona fide top six winger, maybe a first liner, right? And all of a sudden we got Yuzura, who can move on front board aside. Law can develop for us as well. Your Culver Betty can develop for us. We've got a lot of guys here that could be something for us. So, maybe we can get rid of Katie Beck. Let's look at that. I don't know what they're doing with the relation but maybe we go after Ryan Harris? Yeah, we're back to the bank. So, not quite. Let's look for that. Really stretching my knowledge. And Prothop, right? You don't have to send these guys and give up some assets. One thing I really encourage you not to do is do not give up your first game in 2026. It's going to be your most valuable asset by a long margin. But you just don't want to give it up. Right? Don't give this up. You're going to fight on really bad. Where you want to offer somebody with an RFA. You're going to want this first round pick. Your goal is to be in the lottery. Your goal is to pick top 3, but also develop them at the same time. So we can keep it up assets too to move up in next year's draft, but maybe we get after team what would it take in a second round pick with the Buffalo City. What would it take to actually what would it take? Jack Benson. Jack Benson would be walk. Don't love that. You could go after some of these other players. Maybe you're closer vote. You seem to be like a keeper player. You can't. Of course, it's not going to give me anything right off the bat, but Jack Quinn, I don't want Jack Quinn, but thank you. Thank goodness. They know how to go wrong with stuff like that. Good draft pick. Let's say that we want the Buffalo Sabres. Oh, they don't have a second next year. That is fantastic. Where did they give a second next year? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They could go Mike first next year. Not going to happen for Calgary. Calgary second. Could happen for a third this year. Soderblom. And a third, so I don't think that's a terrible trade. Oh yeah, speaking of goaltending, I forgot, we do have one ace in the hole here in Factor Demko. Wow, nobody wants that. No, that is disrespectful to Factor. I'm so sorry, I know you watch it. I apologize for that. But anyway, there you go. So that recommends with your roster. The first free agency class is going to suck, so let's get to that. I'll just skip through that for you guys. But the first free agency class is going to suck. So this is where you really do most of your roster construction. And I think we've honestly done a fantastic job with our grades. We started by trading John Jansen for our first, third, fifth round. We then traded Doug Jansen for signing straight up. We then used the first we got in the John Jansen trade as well as the second. We got in Frank Nazar. And then in the second, we also acquired Logan Stankoven for all the really great crowds. Like, I think getting Stankoven and Nazar and Edmondson. And then moving to third, and that first really did turn into Frank Nazar. Basically got Nazar for free. Second round pick next year is really nothing to me. We got Jansen for Nazar and third. Jansen in the second for Nazar and third. I would say, I'm going to do but there we go. But the same thing is expiring after the season. We'll have to sign it. But if you take a look at the all expiring, you have basically nobody's really going to have anybody expiring. So if you go to free agency, this is really not a time to be, open to splash the cash. Not a reason to save your cap space. That's why I wasn't afraid to really push the limits when I was doing expansion drafts. Here you go, guys. Here are your top.
Oh my God! Fuck off! Hear me?
Exciting stuff here. 81 at 33-year-old. Logan Tuzo. 36 at 81. Goaltender, even better. Just Jones and 81. Like it's not great here, guys. You're not like a tremendous amount of young talent either. You could go after Judge. I'm just gonna offer him a contract by the way. 17. There you go. Like Intel Force. You only have 31 players. This is a good time to kind of go through and get some of these players. Hold on to go to two-way contracts. And then just pick up all of these guys that you can if you want, right? Get maybe some players that have potential, make it a little bit tender.
During the holidays, with a red cup from Starbucks, Spoon Espresso meets festive flavors like Spoon and Mocha. Caramel Relay, it's different than it's our way of bringing sparkle to the season. Made just for your holidays at Starbucks.
Maybe you don't want to go after 64, so you get my point, right? It's a key point. It's the young talent in your AHL. Here you go, guys. that is that. Let's actually show you what the roster looks like. Why the heck not? And there you go. We immediately get 2+5 because we did try to snag some guys with some X factors. I actually really like these lines. Ben Lundell, Spencer Tom, and then Stankoven for Betty Mazar. I think it's going to be a really solid first couple lines. I don't want Reed. I don't think they're Taylor Raddish. Yeah, I think no. I think they're yeah, I don't believe I could get a good job for doing that. But there you go. Our defense looks pretty solid as well. You know, Zadorov, Edmondson, Kesselring, Grover, Moser, Ellison. It's solid defensive score. It's not terrible. It's not great. And then we still have that going next with Justin Wallstead. We have a goaltender team. Maybe somebody would take that to go for something. We can do that if you wanted to, but that's four maybe that you're like, you know what, I hate playing goals, so I'm going to just keep this going. We'll see if anybody actually wants to.
I will involve this trade with Matthew Schaefer right now. 17 fucking years old.
Hey, I don't hate that from Vancouver. We get another middle six winger and Garland. We got a third liner and Sherwood actually playing much better than that recently. And then a 7th round pick. So we get 7 back to Vancouver for a couple more additions to help flesh out the forward. Really, I'd like to make my own trade for futures for that. Future lines. You know, Garland's only, 85, 86, right? Boston Mazar off that line, I don't do, and then, you know, it's just Reed, Brazeau, Raddish, like, we're really not including an overwhelming amount. I'd rather get, like, Vancouver's second round pick or something like that for that. Or maybe get prospects, like, so, there you go, guys. That's my expansion draft guide. If you guys have any other comments or thoughts, or you guys could do something with maybe I want to hear in the comment section. I love the feedback. You guys have been amazing with helping each other out. That's what I love about this community. You guys are the best. Let's keep this franchise mode university rolling to help each other out. You have the most fun this year, and you're going to put all the time I have for this one, guys. Thanks for your play. I don't know what else there is to say, man. The Vancouver Canucks are pretty sad how things are going, eh? I would highly recommend you go out there and check out yesterday's post-game video. Vancouver versus Philadelphia, where the Canucks ended up losing.
I'd rather have Zach Benson on this fucking team, man. Oh my god, he fits on the first line too. Okay, and he has 2 years left.
The players. Who was there? Who was out? The messaging as to whom Adam Foote decided to put in the lineup over other players. These are all conversations that we can have. But I wanted to dial it back a little bit here. You see, earlier in this show, we spoke about the Montreal Canadiens and how Kent Hughes' gamble paid off with the Noah Dobson trade. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the Jim Rutherford, the Vancouver Canucks, and how their gamble has miserably failed at this stage of their tenure. Today, what we're going to talk about is a trade that we can very well argue has set the Vancouver Canucks back at least a year or two, maybe a bit. Now, I'll admit, this is not an idea that I think many Canucks fans felt super strongly a few months ago. We're starting to see it now because the season has gone the way it has, and we understand just where the team is at right now. And we know more context about Quinn Hughes and how he decided to leave and how he didn't want to come back and all this stuff. But now, when we look at the Marcus Pettersson trade, yes, it's a funny game to see Vancouver get all these Petterssons in their organization. Oh yeah, we've got 2 Elias Pettersson, Elias Petterssons. We should have gotten O'Reilly Patterson. We let go of Kate Pettersson a few years ago, but now you're bringing in Marcus Pettersson. But here's the thing about this trade. I said back in this meeting, yeah, Marcus Pettersson is a guy that can help out the Vancouver Canucks. He is a player on defense that the Vancouver Canucks will build up because they're taking their value from center and they're putting it back on D. They did this with Philip Bronick and Bo Horvath. They're doing this with JT Miller and Marcus Pettersson. That was the deal. And when Marcus Pettersson signed his contract, there were a lot of Canucks fans and media members going out there and saying, hey, like, this guy plays pretty well. And when you see other contracts getting handed out to other defensemen, talk about the Luke Hughes of the world getting so much money. You talk about Kevin Baugh getting just underneath Marcus Pettersson's dollar amount, but that guy is not nearly as skilled or accomplished. It's like, okay, Marcus Pettersson, for the end of 2031, at 29 years old, making 5.5, is not the absolute worst, and in fact, you could say it's good. For the defense stabilizing play that he provides, this is the player that Vancouver is going to get some good usage out of. And let me remind you, the Vancouver Canucks traded away first-round pick to get this dude. They traded away the first-round pick that they had acquired from the JT Miller trade, alongside a Vinny Desharnais, Melvin Farrenstrom, and Danton Heinen for Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. Yeah, I don't even remember the fact that Heinen and Desharnais were included in that deal. Not to mention Melvin Farrenstrom, who's a prospect that's actually doing pretty well in Sweden right now. But now, when we take a look at this trade just a few months later, you get yourselves post-made life picks on the Bar Canucks subreddit. The Life is the Dream posted this after the Canucks lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. Connick and Marcus Pettersson are not worth 2 first-round picks. We traded 2 firsts for these guys to fix our defense problems, but our D still sucks. Management and ownership, or whoever signed off on these deals, miscalculated once again. The retool will be another 10 years.
Stop. What's next is? So here's another choice. Don't stop until you have everything in the GFC Sierra Denali Ultimate. We are professional grade.
Now, the funny part is, you can look at this post and be like, wait a minute, what? That's not 100% accurate. I would honestly agree. All the comments are calling out this Reddit post saying, hey, wait a minute, hold your horses there. We get that you're frustrated, but Philip Bronick is definitely worth the first round pick. He's good. And I would honestly say that as a number 1 defenseman, who is only a number 1 defenseman because the best defenseman on the team ended up getting traded away, he's just a backfield number 1 right now. It's not like he was ever going to be that for this Vancouver Canucks team. Philip Bronick is on pace for 46 points. He's had worse years in the past. And honestly, the first season that he had, where he had 48 points in 81 games, I would honestly say that Bronick is more impressive than that. He was getting assists. He was getting points because he was playing up to these guys. And then he fizzled out in the second half of the year, despite having that hot start, and ended up with a career high in points. This year, he's technically on pace for a similar year, despite the fact that the team is so much worse in front of him. It's almost like Philip Bronick is being forced to do the same thing that Quinn Hughes did last year, except not to the same magnitude. Philip Bronick is never going to win an Orange Trophy. I don't think that is in the cards for him in his career, which is fine. Only 1 defenseman wins an Orange a year. But Marcus Pettersson? Dude. In what world is this guy looked at as a meaningful and actually contributing piece to a Vancouver Canucks retool/rebuild at this stage of the season in his career? That's not even to say that the trade itself, oh yeah, Vancouver lost out on Farrenstrom, Desharnais, Heinen, first round pick. It's not even to say that that trade is like the worst thing in the world. Drew O'Connor's on Vancouver now, and he's one of the only like decent players that's actually doing stuff, even though, like, come on, it's Drew O'Connor. He's being one of the best players on the team, kind of had a problem. But he's just the lack of hindsight. And the band-aid solution that it was to make a trade for Marcus Pettersson, to sacrifice a first-round pick, despite the fact that the Vancouver Canucks, when the trade for JT Miller and the trade for Marcus Pettersson was made, despite the fact that the Canucks at that time, they knew that Quinn Hughes was not going to come back. Is it careless to go out there and make a sort of move like that, knowing that your captain and franchise player who was like 45% of the team's level of success individually is not going to come back? Do you want to go all in a year like that? Do you want to trade away first round pick in a valuable spot because you want to get a Marcus Pettersson who you're going to have to re-sign because it's a year still at 28, 29 years old? The Canucks still couldn't use the captaincy because they wanted to force him to stay. The Canucks made the trade for Marcus Pettersson because they wanted to force Quinn Hughes to stay by giving him a team that he could see as competitive. But they were wrong. It didn't work. And now Marcus Pettersson on this team is like really not great. Very subpar defenseman at this point of the season. And even though the contract is fine, it's not like this guy, if he were to trade today, would fetch you a first round pick anymore. Let's go back over to the Argonaut subreddit and read some more about this. D-Ho88 says that Bullock is worth the first. MP3, not so much. Marcus Pettersson is good, but we didn't need to go for first if management had a inkling that Hughes was leaving. That was a waste of a pick. Ringo March's Hart says, not necessarily. Management said they want help from veterans to bring the new kids along. Marcus is apparently a big leader in the room. Shows exemplary work ethic. Even Sidney Crosby came out to praise Marcus Pettersson for his value in the trade habit. And many defensive veterans from Pittsburgh did say fine. He doesn't give them all high praise like that. So maybe not a waste after all, although it'd certainly be nice to have another mid first round pick. You didn't have another reply that says, Canucks already had Myers and Roy for the best. They didn't need to throw away another first with 10-3 for leadership. If they were so concerned about leadership with our offense, they could have just signed Ian Cole. And that essentially seals the deal here. It's one of the many replies to that idea. Marcus Pettersson, leadership and all, it's valuable. But with a team that is seemingly focused on building the youth, having too many veteran guys and scratching guys like Elias Pettersson, Oglander, Ratu, it just doesn't align with that idea. Does it not? It's sad to be a Canucks fan, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the failed Marcus Pettersson trade. Do you think it really was a failure? Do you think I'm just being dramatic? Thoughts in the comment section as usual. Is the Canucks from the company. Bye.
Joel, what did you call it? I found this game called Supermarket Simulator. Joe, I can't believe you finally found a good game. I'm going to show you 2 minutes how to run a business.
Well, first things first. We have to actually buy things to sell, Joe. Baraka has to make the store look good.
For once, I agree with Joe. This gives us more space in the shop to sell our products, such as the great Mega Hat.
Well, this is a supermarket. We're not selling your hats.
Calm down, guys. 18 feet, you see the place is going. Joe, it took me 3 lifespans to place that one thing. You might be here for a while, Barack.
It won't take long. I just need to place the computers. Should I start making the popcorn down it?
Oh, shut up, you two. Look that slow. Joe, you're going to stand with me for us if we did anything this slowly. That's fine. Good, let's buy some things to sell. We only have $50. So I'll buy some cheaper things. No, we should buy the more expensive things like the cereal because they make us much more profit.
I agree with Joe on this. Buying cheaper products allows us to have more variety and more overall profit. It's much better than buying barely anything you can consider in the profit.
Of course, you two people with no business experience would say that. Trust a millionaire in business matters.
I ordered it now it's here.
Saying, when you realize I was right and you were wrong.
You're telling me to shut up?
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, now place everything yourself, including the ready to start. Okay, Joe, just don't mess up. I'm not going to.
We're finally going to actually start the game.
Yes, I just placed the pot for solid. Now I'm going to put in some bread and oil to fill up the left side of the thing. We're going to make so much money. We could be making much more money if you two had did what I told you to. Well, whatever. Let's just get this place up and running. We're going to open it very soon. At this rate, the store is going to happen after the death of history. Let's open it. Relax and patient. Perfect things need time. Joe, get off the computer and open the damn shop already, Mr. Dementia. I'm just looking at stuff that you can use for later. Hiring some workers that you can use for later than we need. Let's open it already. Obama, I literally opened the supermarket. Let's see our first customer. We've been waiting for 30 minutes for somebody to come in. I'm going outside. We've been waiting for 30 minutes for somebody to come in. I'm going outside to find customers. Hello, businessman. Would you like to go to my supermarket? Joe, you are a horrible salesman. Let me do it. Fine, here's the piece of the stuff. Hello there. From a businessman to a businessman, how about you come to my supermarket where you have cheap and high-quality products you can buy? So, you didn't fail a salesman, but also got durable. How do you do work with this? Hold on, Barrett. Someone just walked in. Wait, there's also someone counting. We have 3 customers. I call it the art of the deal. I'm also the top-level cashier. Keep our customers buying more from you. We need to make supermarkets great again. Why have to look at all this guy just bought? We're going to sell out. Why are our profits so low? Joe, you dumbass, you didn't set any prices. I'm going to put them a bit below market price. What are you doing wrong? You're losing us money. Selling for a cheaper price may reduce our profits, but it increases our customers. We're going to beat the competition easily with these prices. Joe, you are the one who messed this up. I'm not listening to what you have to say. You're very mean. Your truck was not nice at all. Oh, whatever. Now, with these new prices, we can actually start making money now. And we're going to make so much money. We are making supermarkets great again. Already. We're going to make nice money again. Hello there, President American. Do you support President-elect Donald J. Trump? Personally, I think he's going to make America great again. And he's already wrong by inflation. Don't get political. This is a supermarket. Wait, hello there, you fine women. Would you like to do that? GWG is like 60 years below your age. You know, that's some of the wildest shit ever. What do you think? The kids in York don't have a problem. Let's just never talk about that again. Agreed. Anyway, our profits are crazy. We've almost recouped all of our losses. Yeah, but we'll probably need to restock our products quite significantly. Get ready to order some things on the food sheet. I'm already ordering something, but it's not restocking. I'm finally going to buy some cereal. You'll see it's going to make massive profit for us. I don't have a problem getting the profit. Hopefully this thing is no bad as kids. Joe, that's insane. Let's just finish placing this cereal here and get back to making profits. Hopefully soon we can buy the other products, and then we'll offer everything we can. Both of you have played this game so far. And I'm the only one who hasn't had a chance to play it. Can I get the PC now? Sure, Barack. Unlike you, I actually trust you with running the shop. For one, you at least won't harass all of our women customers like Joe. That's right, you Donald. I don't need to take the bad and please please. Wait for me. Stop, Joe. You don't want me. How do you know? I'm the live with us. The people you live up. Joe, the only thing you can live with us is if you're working. We're not sure right now with that. We really need to up our sales for restocking and getting that final product in. It's already been half a day. And this cheap A customer isn't helping. He's literally buying one bag of pasta. Sad that this is our only customer now. I can't believe we're somehow missing like 20 cents, and because of that, can't buy the sugary thing. This is sad. I'm going to make a big next time. Well done, Joe. It seems like finally more people are coming here. Hopefully you will buy a lot since we have lost almost 50% of our starting money. Now with more money, we can buy more sugars and make it more. So great, we're going to buy even more. Our profits look like a good right now. Can't we actually make money? Our guy needs actual profits to get himself money to live. Don't be greedy, Trump. We have to reinvest our money to grow our business. Taking it all for ourselves will only hurt us long term. We're getting a ton of customers anyway, like the factory. Hello, Bill. You want to come to my house tomorrow? Joe, you pervert, stop harassing our customers. You aren't there, is it? The only thing you are is an Alzheimer's patient.
These sales are great. And we stocked the second most expensive thing we could buy in game, and we still have made $14 from when we had no customers. Truly rush hour.
Obama, that's not even the third most expensive product. Stop lying. I can't believe it. Joe actually remembered something. The universe is breaking, but we also bought the sugar thing. The universe is collapsing in on itself.
Finally putting this Susu Among Us thing on the shelf, which means we finally are selling every type of produce we can, and without any loans.
Wait, there's loans in this game? Why didn't you take out a loan and use it to have all those products before the shop opens? That's because we're built different. You don't need loans to make enough money. You can simply use blood, sweat, tears, and 401k to make money in you. Joe, this isn't the we own the finish line speech. And also there is a reason why business take loans, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. I know personally as I took a small loan of $1 million from my dad. Shut up for a second, you nerd. I need to get this baddie wait girl come to my house tomorrow.
Which is great. I'm just going to fully ignore it. Anyway, it's getting dark now. I can't see him. Our character was so poor he has no money to get functioning lights.
Stop yapping, Barack. We just ran out of bread and new food stuff. I already saw a costume and a new man's to find on bread.
Who's this Ron anyway? Who are we buying all these products from?
We have Ron, pictures from Among Us, cocktails, and German things that follow. Where's this thing? Guys, we have like a minute until we have to close the shop. Let's quickly make some sales.
There's some late night buyers. Let's hope one of them stays here, because we are losing a ton of money.
This has been a nice week so far. Day 2 is going to be even better than day 1. Pretty sure day 3 we can start selling new things like water. Yes, now let's go to the counter.
What kind of person enters a dark shop at 8 p.m.?
Probably Bill breaking into an orphanage to kidnap kids.
You're overestimating him. He would forget what he was doing.
You defended me earlier. Why are you joining Trump now?
Joe, the stuff you said today is wild as hell.
William Obama the day is finally.
I noticed that now I'm closing the store and ending the day.
Let's see, we had 19 customers today, but lost $10 and we'll continue this soon. We're now back to supermarket simulator.
Last time we played was pretty fun, but don't mess up again, Joe. I'm playing instead of you.
This time, hopefully, we can unlock some new products and expand our shop. We have much more potential.
I expected there to be more useful new stuff to us other than the furniture, but still good to check.
Opening the supermarket.
Second day of heading outside to wait for people to come into our supermarket.
Hopefully on the later days, people start coming in at the very start instead of taking an hour to walk in.
Fine. I think this man is walking into a store. This guy might be too.
This guy thinks is 100% going into the supermarket.
Welcome to the supermarket and thank you for buying 5.
Joe, we are not naming the supermarket after you. If you want me to take the PC, just say the supermarket will be named after you and take Donald Trump.
We are not naming it after you either. How about we let the viewers decide?
I disagree, but that's not the worst idea. Comment your ideas for a handful of